There's a level of discipline so relentless it unsettles people. They won't say it aloud, but when they see you, they'll feel it. It's the quiet kind of power that doesn't need to prove anything. It just moves. Steady, ruthless, certain. Have you ever met someone who never breaks their word? Who wakes at the same time every morning, trains whether it rains or not, works when they're tired, and keeps their rhythm long after motivation dies? Everyone else stops by week 3. They just keep walking. People whisper, "That's not normal." They're right. It isn't. It's extraordinary. Centuries ago, Zen monks in Japan built a system designed to forge this kind of unbreakable consistency, a system that eliminates the need for willpower entirely. They called it Gyōji, the practice that sustains itself. It doesn't rely on motivation. It doesn't negotiate with comfort. It simply continues. But to walk this path, you must first destroy a part of yourself. The self that negotiates, delays, and seeks ease. That death is the beginning of mastery. There was once a man named Raphael. Not a monk, not a warrior, just an ordinary man tired of living small. He had talent, ambition, intelligence, but he couldn't keep a single promise to himself. Gym routines, morning meditations, reading habits, all gone before the second week. His life was a repeating pattern of false starts and quiet guilt, until one night, in desperation, he came across a story about the monks of Gyōji Temple, where for over 800 years, a bell rings at exactly 3:30 in the morning. And every single day, without exception, the monks rise. Not 1 minute early, not 1 minute late. No one asks, "Should I get up?" That question doesn't exist. The decision was made centuries ago. That realization struck him like thunder. His failure wasn't laziness. It was architecture. His brain had built an escape hatch into every goal. He had left every promise reversible. The monks understand what most people never learn. There are only 2 types of commitments in life: reversible and irreversible. When your commitment is reversible, your mind negotiates. When it's irreversible, your mind obeys. So Raphael made his vow public. He wrote, "I am a man who meditates every day at 5 a.m. for 90 days. He signed it, posted it, told everyone. His girlfriend laughed, his co-workers mocked. But every skeptic became fuel. Because now, quitting wasn't just failure, it was humiliation. A neuroscientist from Harvard once revealed that when humans make public declarations, the brain interprets failure as social death. To our primitive minds, loss of status means danger. That's why vows made before witnesses hold power. On day 3, the old voice returned. "You're tired. You can skip one day." But now there was another voice, louder, colder. "Tell them you failed." That thought alone was enough. He rose, trembling but alive. He had crossed his first line. Yet the war had only begun. The mind can't be defeated once. It must be defeated daily. Each sunrise brings a new negotiation. Raphael's next discovery came from the monk's second principle: fixed hour discipline. Every morning, you waste sacred energy deciding when to begin. Morning or night, before or after breakfast. These micro-decisions drain your mental strength before the real work begins. The monks removed the question entirely. Time was not a choice. It was law. Raphael chose 5 a.m., not because he liked mornings, but because the world slept. There were no texts, no messages, no excuses. The time became a fortress, a sacred boundary between him and chaos. The first week was a storm. His body rebelled. His mind screamed. But the second week brought stillness. He began waking before his alarm, his body anticipating the vow. By day 14, motion replaced motivation. His body moved before his thoughts could interfere. That's when he found the next enemy: variety. Some days he meditated. Other days he stretched or read. His brain had evolved the negotiation. He wasn't skipping practice. He was rearranging it. It felt like progress, but it was another form of avoidance. In Zen, the Master Dogen taught that freedom begins when form becomes absolute. Repetition until resistance disappears. Same time, same sequence, same action, until the body learns to move without asking permission. Raphael locked it in. 20 push-ups, 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of reading, every single morning in the same order, no variation. His friends called him robotic. His girlfriend said he was obsessed. He smiled. They didn't understand that obsession is simply what discipline looks like to the undisciplined. By the third week, his mind screamed for change. Do something different. You'll burn out. But by week 6, the voice was gone. Silence. His movements became ritual, thoughtless, effortless. An MIT researcher would later explain why. After roughly 60 days of perfect repetition, the basal ganglia, the brain's automation center, takes over. The behavior no longer requires decision-making. You stop doing discipline, you become it. Then came the test. Sickness, travel, fatigue. His body wanted to stop. But in Zen, there are no gaps. The monks say that in the smallest gap, the old self returns. So on travel days, Raphael did push-ups in airport bathrooms, meditation in taxis, reading on planes. Not perfectly, but continuously. Because perfection is not the goal. Continuity is. A river doesn't flow perfectly. It simply never stops. This is Gyōji. Practice that sustains itself. When people noticed his transformation, they didn't praise him. They whispered, "He's changed. He's obsessed. He's not normal." He smiled again. Because normality is the death of greatness. The disciplined life will always threaten those who fear their own reflection. Now here's what no one prepares you for. The unforeseen obstacles. The unplanned chaos. The broken nights. Sick children. Sudden storms. These moments destroy the average person's consistency because they never built pre-decisions. The monks solved this centuries ago. They never ask, "What now?" When the temple floods, they move to the courtyard. When the courtyard burns, they sit in the field. The bell rings. The practice continues. Raphael wrote his own pre-solutions. If I can't train, I walk. If I can't meditate sitting, I breathe standing. If I'm sick, I do 2 push-ups, 1 page, 1 minute. Not perfection. Continuity. A Yale psychologist studying decision fatigue once proved that pre-decision eliminates hesitation. When the plan already exists, the mind no longer burns energy debating. It simply executes. By day 70, Raphael no longer remembered choosing. His body woke. It moved. It breathed. The practice had consumed the practitioner. The system had become the self. And that's when others began to say, "Your consistency is scary." And his answer, calm and absolute, was, "Good." Because when your discipline makes others uncomfortable, you've reached the edge where the ordinary cannot follow. Discipline, at its highest level, is not about doing something daily. It's about becoming someone who cannot live any other way. The Gyōji system. Public declaration, fixed hour, single form, and pre-solutions doesn't create habits. It destroys negotiation. It removes choice. And in the absence of choice, the true self appears. When you reach that point, you no longer rely on motivation. You no longer chase energy or inspiration. You simply do. Because doing is who you are. This is not balance. It is transformation. It's death and rebirth. The death of the inconsistent self. The birth of the unstoppable one. And if this path calls to you, if you feel that quiet hunger to rebuild your mind, subscribe to Dojo Path. Join the modern temple of self-mastery. Each lesson is a blade for the spirit, each teaching a mirror for the warrior within. Because the consistency that frightens others is the only consistency worth having. Train your mind. Master yourself. Walk the Dojo path.